Hi everybody, welcome to my home. My name is Hope Yoder and I'm here with the Embellish line, which is a division from R&K Distributing. So my husband, I want to say thank you to Marv, who's graciously agreed to help me with this live video, and I just wanted to bring some positivity and some inspiration to you. So feel free to ask questions when I go back. I'll be checking when we get into the other room. We're going to kind of go in a couple different rooms in my home, and I'd love to answer your questions. If for some reason I don't get to them on this feed, then I'll answer them afterwards. So welcome to my home. I live in Sarasota, Florida. Where are you guys from? Give me a shout out. And I love Be So In, as you know. I usually go to their store a couple times a year, and our climate has changed a little bit. So I'm so happy and privileged to be asked to be on this live feed. So right now, I'm in my home, and most of you that have met me in person, you know my beautiful children moved out about over a year ago now. And this was one of their bedrooms. So I'm gonna give you like the tour. This is my happy place, my quilting room. And so this usually stays pretty organized in this room. Maybe not the rest of the house, but this room is like my happy place. So I've got my fabric, and I've got these great bins where I can just hide stuff when people come over virtually. I've got my cutting table and my straight stitch machine. This is where I do my quilting, which is my new passion. And I just made a video that's going to be on our Facebook or on a YouTube channel where I organized this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a few of the new tools that we have with Embellish, and then I'm actually going to show you how to use the long arm quilting tool. And right over here, I finished my very first paper piecing, foundation paper piecing. So I have this loaded on my long arm quilting machine, and this weekend I hope to use the Q-matic to do some quilting. But right over here, I did a half square triangle. So I'm going to show you my cat Minky. You'll probably see her. She's playing with a batting underneath there. Hey, Minky, what are you doing? All right. So I have been playing with the Quilter Select rulers and making half square triangles. So I'm going to do a little video, and I kind of tore it apart, and I'm going to show you how to use the new ruler. So on here, this is one of our brand new tools, and this is the Embellish Ultimate Tweezers. And if you notice, this is the perfect place when I'm quilting to pull up those bobbin threads. Every machine's a little bit different, but it has a little hole here. And then here I store my applique scissors. These are perfect for trimming threads. So I keep a pair there. And up on the machine, I'm actually going to quilt this with our Flawless thread from Embellish. And this Flawless thread is 60 weight thread, and it's got a little bit of sheen. And then I've actually got the bobbin wound with a Quilter Select larger spools. So the reason why I'm going to use 60 weight thread to quilt this is I'm not really that great yet. And it's okay, because I don't care. I've just decided I want to have fun in my sewing room. I am so thankful I own this equipment now, especially being stuck at home. And the finer thread is more forgiving. So 60 weight, the higher the number of the thread, the more forgiving. And our 60 weight thread is coated. Look, you guys, I know Birdie, if you're watching, you love little Mickey, get down. 60 weight thread, I quilt with that, and it's actually a machine embroidery thread, and I'm going to show you some out in the other room. But let me come in and show you what I've been working on lately. And again, kind of ask your questions. I did a video on how to make a half square triangle by using Quilter Select rulers, and I ripped one apart with our seam ripper so that I could show you how to do that. So I think I'm going to do this on a different video, but basically these Quilter Select rulers, they have 1/2 inch rulers, and they have a line. This one actually isn't a 1/2 inch. So let me find, we'll find one a little later, but This one is whole inches. This one is a 6-inch ruler, but I love the 1/2 inch, and I just got my last 1/2 inch ruler. And to make the half square triangles, I like to use that one, and I use this line. So maybe when I come back and do a live Embellish event, I'll show you how I made those with the Quilter Select ruler. But over here, this is just a pegboard system. I've got the stabilizer that I use almost all the time, which is our Fusible Bold Tearaway. And before I get too into this and I show you my new techniques that I've come up with, I wanted to tell you that if you're an email subscriber to Be Sew In and you're on their email list, you guys, the products that I'm going to talk about and show you, they have some really great special deals on them. And you wouldn't go to their Be Sew In website. R&K's created a special little portal for you to shop and to save big. And you'll find that information if you're an email subscriber. About an hour ago, there was an email that went out from Be Sew In to you all, and it said something about live event and save on big deals. So I'll show you a picture of that when I get in there to my iPad. But there's a pink box at the bottom of that email, and in there is Create with R&K website that you'll click on, and you'll need that secret code that went out in your email. So anything I see, we've got it listed there, and you can save big on it. All right, so this is where I quilt, and I have just a straight stitch machine. Been making a lot of masks like you have. For that foundation paper piecing, I use the Quilter's Select glue stick. And this glue stick, I love it because it is neon green. And if you're new to sewing, I'm gonna tell you, cheat and steal and beg and borrow all you can. When I'm quilting, I like to glue things together when I'm sewing first so that my seams line up. What I love about this is that it's I guess it's neon green, but it dries clear so that you never sew through wet glue. When it turns clear, you know it's dry, and then you can sew through it. So that's a great tip. You can also iron this dry, but I actually use this right on the foundation paper piecing. So that goes right here. That's some of my favorite tools. This seam ripper, we have 3 matching tools that are new. Whoops. Newish. I know I was just at Be Sew In, I guess in February, and we did have these tools here, but some of you from the other locations, you weren't at that event. So I'll show you what's new with Embellish. And these is our applique scissors and our ultimate tweezers I use for quilting and embroidery, and especially for digital cutting. And then we have a beautiful seam ripper. And what's unique about that, let me take a trip over here to some of my fabrics. I have some fabric that I've designed, and here, little fun tip, this was my first fabric line called Roses and Arrows, and the artwork from the tools matches the fabric. So that's kind of a fun little fact. All right, so we'll put those there, and I'll get this all nice and back. All right, so another thing I want to tell you guys, because of all the darkness that's going on around us, to me it's important to have some pretty things in my space. So these are some of my Animal Art Collage CD stitch outs that I haven't done anything with yet, so I just kind of hung them there. And what I wanted to show you right now, and I am by no means an expert on long arm quilting, but I don't even care about that, because I probably have more fun than the experts, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter because I'm having fun. And this is my happy place. So let me show you this new ruler from Quilter Select. It's pretty thick, it's about 6 millimeters, and it is made for long arm quilting or free motion quilting. So if I was gonna use it on this, on a straight stitch machine, all I would need would be to set up for free motion quilting by dropping the feed dogs, and then I would need a ruler foot. So I couldn't use it with my regular sewing foot. I would buy a ruler foot. All right, but I'm gonna show you over here on this frame. So if you have a sit down, let me get this out of your way. If I have a sit down machine or I have a frame, it's gonna work the same way. And so I just have, let me get my needle up here. And I'm going to take this foot off. This is the foot that I normally quilt with here. Let me just kind of show you what I do. And then I'm going to get my free motion foot, which actually is right on here. Like, where is it? In this little cup. This is a cup foot. Oh, let's see if I can remove it. There we go. I put lotion on my hands, y'all, before I started in case you saw it close up, so they were slippery. All right, so here's a ruler foot, and this is an optional foot that I purchased. So just about any machine is going to have that. And with the ruler foot, Alex Anderson is the Quilter Select line. Let me get this out of your way. And I thought that these holes were just to hold it down and to move it, but they're not. They're just so when you pick it up and reposition it, you have something to grab onto. So you're not meant to quilt like this. All right, now let me go ahead and pull up my bobbin thread again. All right, got that. Up, perfect. All right, so what I like about this is, again, like I said, I'm just kind of playing with it. And I love that I have a 1/4 inch marking right down here that goes all the way across. And then I have my 1 inch markings. And then I have, you know, 1/2 inch. I use this 1/4 inch a lot because if, all right, let me get my foot down here. And if I lay this right here, okay, against this seam line, then I'm going to be about a 1/4 inch away. Or if I lay this 1/4 inch mark right at that seam line, that's what I'm going to do. And so let's go ahead and get started. I want to stop with my needle down. And I have a ruler base on here. But I'm going to stop right about there, and then I just reposition this right here. So I've got that 1/2 inch mark here, and I'll come down a little bit more. And then I'm going to go over, and if I stop and just slide this, and I wanted to stop, let's say, a 1/4 inch away, I could actually put this right there. So I'm going to stop at that big black line right here, so that I can reposition. And I know now that I could stop there, and then, whoop, I stopped too soon, so I'm just gonna come back a little bit, and what I want is that 1/4 inch line to go on the edge of my block. All right, so if you can kind of see through there, that 1/4 inch line is running on the edge of the block. And then, and I could just then kind of keep going in here. Now, one of the things that I did out there, this is where I'm saying I'm not necessarily the best quilter, but I'm the funnest quilter. All right, this is not traditional. I love modern quilting, which works really well for being a beginner. So I'm gonna stop with my needle down, and I'm just gonna make all these strokes, and I don't care how far apart they are. All I care about is that my line is straight. And so I've got all these just weird angles in there. And you know what? That's what's really fun about quilting. A lot of you at our last event said, I'm not really a quilter. I'm not either. But just give it a try while you're at home. Try something new. And remember, you've got all these great tools from R&K that could help you sew straighter. Now, what I have mounted here on my frame is some batting, and there's all kinds of batting on the market. And I'm going to tell you what I love to use, and this is I either use our Quilter Select batting, or I love this bamboo batting. And this comes two ways. I'm going to recommend, if you do some quilting, that you get the 5-yard cut. It comes, I've almost used this, it's 5 yards by 60 inches. And this is the full 60 inches. So just to give you perspective, you couldn't do a full-size quilt, but lap quilts and decorative quilts, look how much I have left over. So you've got quite a bit there. And this is called Angel Loft Bamboo Batting. And and it comes in a smaller put up too. What's great about this is that it is half bamboo fibers and half cotton fibers. And it has an embroidery stabilizer needle punched in between it. So this batting is super soft, and it is not, there's no fillers or adhesive like some of the other brands that I've used. So it's really soft, and it will hold 40,000 embroidery stitches. So when I'm done with this, I'm actually going to embroider some chenille, and this is going to be a baby quilt for nobody in mind, but just a quilt. So I want to make sure that I'm going to use a good quality cotton that's thin, because I live in Florida. I'm also going to be able to embroider through it, and the fact that it is bamboo and cotton means bamboo naturally is moisture wicking and it resists mold. So half of this fiber content is bamboo, so it's really going to hold up good, because I think a baby blanket, it might end up in a hope chest or a closet and pass down. So I want to make sure that that's going to be protected. Now over here, this is what I've been looking or working on recently, and this is my camping silhouette embroidery collection with a beautiful matte thread. And I used the ruler, I had this on the frame, and I used the ruler to do the straight stitching. And I love the way this looks. It's not perfect, don't care. I love all these angles, and I started to echo quilt around there, and for me that's not easy to do. So I decided I didn't care, and I was just going to use those angles just like I showed you. So have fun with your quilting. All right, let's go out in the other room, and before we do that, right behind you, this is a quilt I was practicing with the ruler, and the last 3 rows nailed it. Everything before that, not so much. But what I did about, this is a triangle quilt. I've always wanted to make one of these. So I finished this while I'm home in quarantine, and I use, you can see all my little holidays, if you will. But this was so easy because I lined up this 1/2 inch mark, and then you have another, or 1/4 inch, and then the foot's about 1/4 inch. So you've got all this great spacing in here. And I was actually able to go like this through all of them. All right. So Quilter Select, I think this is called the Precision Machine Ruler Quilter Select. I'm not sure, but just look for the holes. Only ruler with the holes in it. All right, let's come on out here and let me show you what I have prepared for you. Now I'm going to look for any questions. So this is kind of, again, this is in my home, and this was our kids' room where they could watch TV. And out behind me, we lied to them and said we had nanny cams everywhere. Have you done that? All right, I'm going to go to Be So In's website here, Facebook page, and just see if I have any questions so far. A lot of people tell me they're not quilters. You don't need to be a quilter. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to do it. And now that we're at home, we have a whole lot of extra time. 31. All right, let's see here. Pull this up. All right. Watching, I see a bunch. I love the glue stick from Machine Applique, Felicity Flamingo. All right, so far I think we're good. Now I want to show you, I promised, man, I've been at home like you, and I'm going to tell you, I miss being on the road, and I miss doing the live events, but I am so glad I bought that embroidery machine and that quilting machine, because I'm really having a lot of fun. And one of the things that my daughter came over yesterday is our Chenille Cutter. You guys, this is, well, I'm biased of course, but this is the best Chenille Cutter on the market. And it has 2 different guides. This one I had to dig out of my bag. Actually, my last event was with you guys at Be So In, and I had my name on this. And if you don't know what chenille is, here's an example, but I'm going to show you a totally off-the-cuff way to use it. So this is a sample of chenille, and it kind of reminds me of those old bedspreads that my aunt used to have, and I did 2 layers. And what's going to happen is after you embroider this, and this is our software, Embellish Maker, I'm going to do another event just about the software, so you guys tune in for that on another day. But Embellish Maker software, you can turn anything into chenille with 1 click of the mouse. And I believe that's going to be on that shopping portal we talked about. So a great price on this. But I can also take existing embroidery designs and in one click turn anybody's design into chenille. And what happens is then I'm going to take the long guide. See the difference? And I'm going to just go right between there. And this blade, unlike a rotary cutter, this is stationary. It doesn't move when I use it. And I slice open the channels and I get a brush and I fluff it, all right? So that's what chenille is. But what I discovered from being at home is y'all need 2 of these. So if you guys have one, you should have a second one. And it has an extra big hang hole and a soft grip. And why you need 2 is because this sucker is amazing in the kitchen. All right, I just started going around my house cutting up stuff. And I discovered it's like, I used to do extreme couponing. So I did a lot of coupon cutting, and the little cutter I had reminded me of this. The blade didn't move. Let me show you what you could use this for. So here's just a little coupon that I got in the mail, and I want to show you close up what you can do. Now for this, you're going to want to make sure you have the short guide on here and it comes out of the package. The long guide I use for straight chenille, but man, this is going to be in my kitchen. All right, so I'm just going to get it started, and notice that blade doesn't turn. Well, actually that is turning a little bit. It's not supposed to, and that's because I had changed it. Whoop, Bull China Shop. I'm not going to use this coupon, but notice how easy that works. And another thing, put my coupon down here. I just got this in the mail. Ordered more elastic so that I can make masks. And check this out. Check out. All right, there we go. Can you see how easy? All right, got my elastic for more masks. All right, another thing, I could go on and on because we cut cat food, and we're gonna do a whole fun video on kind of like a Chenille Cutter memes. Looks like Baby Shark. Well, I have a toaster oven and we're at home, so I'm of course cooking like crazy. But this is a parchment paper box, and I just got this from Costco. And we use a ton of this, but what's happening is it's not cutting real well. When I go to cut it, now that metal part is really dull and it doesn't cut straight. So I found this really cool use for this. All right, so I can take the short guide and they have you come in here to see this. This is parchment paper, cuts like a dream, wrapping paper, stabilizers. Now, some of you guys are really, let's see if we get my Minky will be all around there. Now, those of you who go green and you like to recycle, I think I'm gonna, depends on how long we're home, but I think I'm gonna jack up this box. And when I'm done, I'm gonna save this box. Right, still got a lot more parchment. That'll probably be done in a month. And I'm probably gonna bedazzle this sucker or embellish it with foil, who knows what. But your stabilizers, your 12-inch and your 15-inch will go in this box. So check that out. I've got extra space so you can see that the 15-inch roll, 20-inch roll won't work. But now, what if I did this, and this is my embellished, fusible, dissolvable tearaway. Check it out, y'all. So let me just get it started. Oh, let's try it over here. This worked so good before the video. I just was able to just kind of come right through there. Not working that great. All right, but you get the picture. With the bold tearaway, that's what, oh, here, no wonder. Bold tearaway, it worked really well. One more thing that I'm going to show you to use this for, if you stay right over here, let me bring this to you. And I have our foolproof repositionable webbing, because I'm going to show you how we make our Animal Art Collage. But I have a big piece, all right? Check this out, hardly any effort at all. Again, with that short guide, I can kind of save all this. Now, another thing, and I got this idea from Lana from one of our stores in Seattle, and Minky, no. You could tear away your stabilizer when you're done embroidering. So if you had something in the hoop, you can just take it upside down, and then you could just cut the stabilizer after you're done embroidering. Perfect use. So that's why I think everybody needs 2 of those in their room. Now, you see any questions in there, you can let me know if anything pops up that looks like, because I don't really see them over here. All right, so let me show you, we're gonna walk over here to, let me find that CD. All right, this is probably my #1 selling CD, and this was so fun. We already have a couple more ideas for different collections in the work, and it's called the Animal Art Collage CD. All right, and so this was so much fun to make, and this is totally not being a quilter. Our whole hands-on event was based on this CD. So if you didn't get this CD, they've got a killer deal. Remember that email that was sent by BSON, and then you have the Create with R&K portal and your secret code. But let's come right over here, and I gotta show you this. And then today, like a crazy woman, I decided I'm gonna make something new to show you another idea. That was not smart, right? Because I'm trying to get ready. But this is my animal art collage. And with this, I'm gonna show you how we made these. But I've got my rhinestones, and this is kind of top stitched, quilted. Everything's raw edge for the animals and the hexies. The hexie pattern is in there. But I did piece the background together. So that's a little different than what our event was. And again, you can get all the directions and everything from this animal art collage. And I'll tell you what products you're gonna need with that as well. But one of the things I wanna show you is, I don't know if we can get a good view, this seahorse, I wanna show you this chenille. I needed my chenille cutter, and the chenille was actually put on after I quilted the whole thing. Now, I'm the type of quilter that I'm gonna start quilting over all my machine embroidery. So I've quilted over all of this. And then I added the chenille. So if I was going to take this and look upside down, you can see, you don't see the embroidery for the animals, but if you come in real close, you can see that's the chenille. And I'm not entering this in a contest, so I don't really care if you see that or not. And over here on this adorable fox, the fox has mylar and chenille tail, and this was all created on our webbing top stitch, and I'm going to show you that in a second, but you can see the chenille tail. So super easy, forgiving, and a lot of fun. All right, so come on, let me see while he's looking at that. Hey Birdie, hey Becky, Julie, thank you guys for watching. All right, let me show you what I've got going on over here. So Animal Art Collage, I've got my little cheater notes here. Some things that you're gonna want would be the chenille cutter to make that. On the back of the packaging, it tells you some of the things that you need. Now it doesn't have all the yardage, that's gonna be inside, but let me just read what those are. You're going to need the chenille cutter, and the #1 thing is our foolproof repositionable webbing. It's our permanent webbing. We actually create the animals on a foundation of that. And then you're gonna want mylar, and the mylar looks like this. And inside of all of you who have purchased this mylar, I don't know if you knew this or not, but there's a whole alphabet free. So on the inside of this label, there's a secret hidden web page where you can get your download for your free designs. And this has 3 sheets that are 18 by 30. It's gonna last you a long time. So you're gonna want that. And you're gonna use sticky tearaway and that angel loft bamboo batting that I showed you in the other room. You're gonna want that. Now you can see that's a big quilt. So I would recommend you getting the 5 yard, and there's no reason why you can't do that now, because I saw the price they had on that. I thought it was a typo, but it's not. And then we used a matte thread, sticky printable template. All right, let's come back over here. Sticky printable template. I know a lot of you watched that live webinar that I did. Well, this sticky printable template is my BFF. Now I have machines that have lasers and they have cameras, but I still need this. And I happen to have some printouts, I think from those. Oh no, I don't have the animals here, but this is from that quilt I showed you when we started. This is how I made sure that I embroidered them. And you're just gonna stick this on your quilt, and then if you have a snowman or positioning sticker, you can put it there. But that way you can match up the lines or the camera when you scan your hoop to get your designs right where you want them. So sticky printable template, I use that for all the chenille. So when I embroidered the chenille, I pulled up the embroidery design and I had the sticker stuck right there, and I just matched up the design with the sticker. Same thing with the glasses. I had printed the glass template on this sticky printable template. So don't be afraid to use that to just get it right where you want it. All right. Now, let's see. Sticky printable template. All right, let me show you what I worked on today. Like a crazy woman. All right. So here, as a take on that Animal Art Collage, I actually happen to have some of these canvases laying around. And they're just, you know, craft canvases. I've had a couple different sizes. And I thought, ooh, I'm gonna make some new wall hanging in my living room. So what I did is I used our Embellish Premium Fusible Batting. So that's the foundation of this wall art. All right, I'm gonna build everything on this. So the Premium Fusible Batting is super soft. It's made out of 100% polyester, but it's not like your grandma's polyester. It is super soft and thin, and the adhesive, one side is fusible, and you'll never see those little adhesive dots on that. So let me show you here. So I've got a canvas. So I'm gonna cut this 3 inches bigger than my canvas. This canvas happened to be 9 by 12. So I cut my Premium Fusible Batting 12 by 15. I think that math's right, if not, close enough. All right, so I've got my Premium Fusible Batting, and I've got my canvas, and this is what the Premium Fusible Batting looks like. All right, so it's super soft, and look how nice and thin that is. All right, really thin. The one side has the little dots, but even if I press this on thin white fabric, you'd never see those adhesive dots like what I used to use from the big box stores a long time ago. All right, so I'm gonna use this batting, and you can do a couple things. On the quilt that I showed you on the wall, I took strips of neutral fabrics and I just pieced them together. So let me put that over there. All right, so if I was going to sew the background, this is all I did. I just straight stitched these together, all right, and created that. So if you look here, and then you look at the background of that quilt on the wall, that's all I did. And then I took Quilter Select. That's actually, on the wall is a 9 patch. So there's 9 of these. After I pieced them together, I love this new pop socket thingy for Quilter Select rulers. I actually just used the 12.5-inch ruler. It's a new ruler, and I cut these blocks, and I put one this way and one this way. One, so the stripes were going horizontal and then vertical, and that's how I made that background. But for the canvas, I'm gonna make 3 of these. And I'm gonna do the backgrounds all different. So let me get my fabric out of the way. So you're gonna want a big stapler. And this is just, you know, I got it at a hardware store. I don't know what kind of stapler it is. But
staple gun.
Staple gun, thank you. It's a man tool, and I have one. It should be hot pink. The next thing that I did is I've already embroidered these out, and all the directions are in there, and the CD. You can see the mylar. There's a sloth and the fox, and you can see that I have to embroider the chenille tail after it's quilted. But what I want to show you is, oh my gosh, I love mixed media, and I love the fact that this is so not traditional. And what I used was R&K's new cork fabric. And this comes in a ton of different colors, and I know it's on that portal and it's on sale. And I think there's mixed ones, and this happens to be rose gold. And I collaged these fabrics in the hoop. Now what I collaged these on, while you're looking at that, is I collaged them on, right here. So the Embellish Foolproof Repositionable Webbing, it's our new permanent webbing, and that's actually what's on the back of this, so it's fusible. So I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So I'm gonna use the Foolproof Repositionable Webbing, and then I collaged cork, and I have mylar in there, all right? And here's the giraffe, and you can see this one does not have the glasses because they would be embroidered after quilting. I've got Mylar ear. Isn't he stinking cute? All right, and then I have a hexagon template in that CD, or maybe you have a die, and I have our foolproof webbing on the back of this. All right, so I've got all of these pieces built. And what I've done here is I found this really cool fabric, whoops, that is, I don't know, it's just a piece of fabric. I didn't piece it together. It's one solid piece, this background, but it was really interesting. And you can see I have fused our premium fusible batting, super soft. And what I've done here is I've got the zebra at the very end. I'm gonna chenille the tail, but I just started straight stitching. I didn't do it free motion. I just did straight stitching. And you guys, you don't need to be a professional quilter. Just have fun. I don't even care how far apart these rows are. Who cares? It's gonna be really cool mixed media wall art. What I did with this is I took Quilters, and I had some, here. I took Quilter Select, has new invisible thread, and I used the smoke color, or the clear thread. All right, let's see, I used that. And I had step number 1, after I embroidered the animal, I fused fabric to the premium batting. Step number 2, I fused that foolproof to the back of fabric, and then I used the template to cut out hexagons. And now here's a tip. This is our vinyl weeding tool from Embellish, and it's super heavy and weighted. And on this sharp point, I need to peel off that paper. And so I'm gonna, rather than peeling the paper off at the end, I'm gonna score it and make an X in the middle and remove the paper from the middle out. And then all I did was I stuck this wherever I wanted, and then I top stitched the zebra and the hexies with this clear thread. Now I used, I love this thread. This is a special offer they have with the Embellish. We have new metallic threads. So the metallic threads, that's what I quilted over, and you can kind of see a little bit of that right there. It's our platinum metallic. It's my favorite. I think I've gone through 3 spools of this already. And so I just wanted a little bit of shine, and so I just quilted with it. And what's special about this is it actually has a polycore, and this offer comes with our free hexi banner. And you've got, here's what the platinum looks like. That color, that's what's on the quilt. And these are wrapped in Mylar, so no metal from the thread ever touches the inside of your machine. You can long arm quilt with it, you can sew, you can embroider with it. All right, and then this actually comes, I'll show you this afterwards, is gonna come with this special lace hexi CD. So that's a bundle, a companion set, and Mickey is playing with my stabilizers. And let me show you what that banner looks like, and then we'll go back to my quilt. So the CD that comes with the thread, great deal on this. Has a free project in it, and that project is actually making that lace banner. And I thought I had the full banner, but I don't. But on this CD, you can actually embroider freestanding hexagons with regular thread, or, oh, I should have put those on my quilt, darn. This just shows you a few of the metallic colors. So all of these come together. All right. Get sidetracked there. It's like squirrel. All right, if you guys are gonna buy that, or you already have it, we did put this on our portal. I asked them to put the Jenny Haskins tassel maker, because that's what I used on that banner. So make sure if you don't have one of these, this sucker is really cool with an opening. And so it's Jenny Haskins tassel and fringe maker. So you'll want that. All right, let's go back to, all right, so, oh, I'm losing something over here. All right, so I've got my things fused down, and then I'm just gonna start to quilt. And so one thing, when I was trying to quilt on my straight stitch machine in that other room, the batting, it kind of dragged on the bed of the machine. So I put our Embellish soft cutaway that we normally would embroider knit fabric with, all right, I put that underneath so that it didn't drag. So if you've ever had that problem, the batting just doesn't want to scoot, just add some soft cutaway and then it'll scoot. So I'm going to finish that off camera, and I'll probably show you some more techniques when we do our live event. But back to this canvas, all right? So to finish this off, if it was already quilted, I'm just going to take it here. Ooh, and I actually wanted those. I don't even care where the hexies go. I'm not going to get caught up on that. I don't care. I don't want the hoofs to go underneath, but actually if the hexies went underneath, who cares? It looked like I meant to. And so once I have that positioned better than this, all right, on the back, I would then just take this and form a miter like this, and then I would staple it down, and I would have a really cool canvas that would go in my living room. So I hope you like that idea. So stay tuned or check it out later. All right, let's see if we have any questions. You see anything that I need to answer on there, let me know. All right. All these little animals. So the next thing I want to show you, I think that it's important that you stay busy and you stay positive. And you're probably like me and you're making a lot of masks to donate to different organizations or people that you know that need them. And you just want to take a break and make something fun. So that little animal art collage would certainly be fun. Another thing that's really fun to make, summer's coming and you probably are going to want to get out of the house, and we have this new companion thread set. This is brand new, one of our first companion sets for the beanbag toss. So this is going to come together with the CD to make the project free. And the blocks are created in the hoop, and then there is some sewing that comes with this. And so you've got all these cool threads, and this is actually a mix of flawless 60 weight thread and then the 40 weight beautiful matte thread. And the reason why this has some flawless in it is because when we created these bean bags, we have some really tiny text. And you want to use the finer thread for that. So you've got the fine thread, and then you've got fine thread here as well for the Mylar. So let me show you this bean bag. Great gift idea. You get the threads and you get the bean bag, and let's just see if Minky likes this here. Oh, nope, she scared her. All right, so how this works, it even comes with a game card. All right, Minky, what do you think? Let's see. I love this. These all have things like, you got this, girl, and you're gonna throw it, and you've got, all right, guess you guys can't see what's in here, but I love this. I love it when the coffee kicks in and I realize today's gonna be a great day. Wake, play, slay. So beanbag toss, this could be on the beach, it could be in your house, it could be in your backyard. And some things that you're gonna want for the beanbag toss is you're gonna want a pack of that Mylar, but the bean bags are actually, we use Oxenberg fabric, and we used we used underlay. So while you're looking at my cute little kitty, let me find our underlay. So our underlay is a prep for fabric, and because I filled this with aquarium ravel rocks, like fish rocks, fish gravel, I was afraid that it would get sharp, and then the rocks would kind of wear down the fabric. So I used our Fusible underlay as a fabric prep. All right, I think Minky likes it. All right, so let me show you a couple more gift ideas. while we're over here, I found my banner. I knew we had this somewhere. So back to that companion thread set that comes with the free lace hexie banner. Here is, oh, I lost one. Here's the banner. And this is made just to tie anywhere. Like if I had hooks over here, I could kind of tie it and hang it. And you can see the tassels. With that tassel maker, you're gonna want that. There's my other one. I guess I need to do some hand sewing. Not today. Another great idea is going to be these love notes. And we have our second companion thread set for the Love Notes CD. And let me show you. Okay, so here's the Love Notes, and it's a fabric tray. And again, you've got some flawless thread mixed in with the matte. So you have the 40 weight matte thread, and then you've got 3 of the 60 weight flawless thread because the directions call for both of those. And so the CD, let me show you, these are so cute. They're just little fabric trays that you can use to put threads or scissors. And we have some puff foam and some mylar. And our foam looks like this. That's in there. And each tray comes in 2 sizes. So you've got the 4-inch or you've got the 8-inch hoop. So it's got some cute Tula pink fabric. Look at that mylar though. The mylar, you only need 1 color mylar, just the iridescent, because depending on the applique fabric or the thread that you choose, it really is going to look different. You can see it looks purple here because I use purple thread, and it looks blue here. And on that same CD, if you don't want to make a fabric tray, I love this. I love us. Dedicate this to you, honey, tomorrow.
Love you too.
So on this, now look, this looks pink. I used iridescent mylar, and the thread, there's not even any applique fabric underneath there. I just love this design. And that platinum metallic thread, I used that. And I think there's something on the other side, the embroidered. Oh yeah, same design. Maybe you know somebody who's getting married in June, and you could make little gifts for them, but here just shows you a little more of that. So that's our companion set. Love Notes fabric tray comes with a thread. And let me show you this. Got a couple more things, but I think we're almost done. I want to come over here and just show you this on my iPad. First of all, let's see. No, I don't see a... All right, so right here, I want to show you a couple things. I referred to the email that came. And so this email for that special portal, right here, you've got that bottom pink box. You're gonna look for that, and where my hands are is going to be a link you click on, and then underneath there is a secret code. All right, so that's one thing. And another thing is, all right, I want you to look at this. Now, on a live event, we've done this, but a lot of people are calling in to pick up an embroidery machine so they can make masks or they can do them in the hoop. And if you call Be Sew In, whatever location you're near, they're gonna give you a gift with purchase for qualifying machines. I don't even know what that is, but you could get our Embellish Maker software and this bundle or this bundle, depending on the machine that you wanted to buy, or we have a special bundle for other types of machines. So there's 3 different bundles for qualifying machines. This one is worth over $4,000 to $5,000. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up there. All right. So make sure that you give Be Sew In a call if you want to take advantage. I hear they're having a warehouse sale tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Oh, she's got one of my that darn cat. Now I know where that came from. All right, a couple more things that would keep you really busy and making gifts ahead of time. Let me show you this. This is my brand new CD called Happy hour placemats. Yeah, with this quarantine, you know, there's all kinds of jokes coming on saying that domestic violence is on a rise. I hope not. I hope those are just jokes. But this is a fun placemat CD, and I want to show you how this works. Now, the designs have some fine text and vinyl, and with that, let me show you some of the goodies here. So you're going to want our flawless 60 weight thread to embroider all of these, because we've got this tiny little text, and I want you to see how good the digitizing is from that. And that was because of our Embellish Maker software and our 60 weight thread. All right, you've got a little vinyl here, but if you want to learn how to do French braid, this is a panel that I used, and this CD actually has a quilting video. Minky, she's got my Mylar. All right, no, Minky, this is what the Mylar looks like. It's iridescent, and it picks up the color of your thread or your applique fabric. Put that away from her. But if you want to learn how to quilt, this CD would be a good one, because on there, I actually make this French braid, piecing it together with a straight stitch machine, and I show you how to press it and how to create that. So that's a fun little extra bonus on there for a beginner quilter or even a seasoned quilter. We'll show you these designs. Great girlfriend getaway. We have the recipe for the blueberry mimosa, the cantina margarita. This is my husband's favorite one, elderflower gin twist. And then we have the cherry lime mojito with LaCroix soda. So that is happy hour placemats. And another thing that I think I'm going to end with, I've got two more things to show you. I think that this is probably my favorite thing I've ever done. And in my house, we have these. All my friends requested them. This is called Towel of the Month. And on the Towel of the Month, you're going to want to use that Angel Loft bamboo batting and our sticky tearaway. And this just goes over your stove. Velcro's on. So you're going to embroider this in the hoop, and then a little bit of sewing. Right, you're gonna, there's a hole for that. You're gonna cut that out and use one of those plastic rings. And then there's all kinds of directions for embroidering on a tea towel. So it's kind of a take of underwear of the month, but towel of the month. You've got about 20 designs. You could get a jump on your Christmas ideas. So, last thing, hopefully I've inspired you to make something fun for yourself or for a gift. And if you're newer to machine embroidery and you don't know what the heck, why do we have so many stabilizers and so many toppers, this workbook is a great thing. I'm going to recommend that you pick up our stabilizer sample pack. And in here we have these all labeled, and it tells you about them. All right, it tells you how to use them. So that's the sample pack. These are new. If you have one of our older ones, I love the fact that this one is very pretty. And for instance, when we were talking about sticky tearaway, let me go here and show you sticky tearaway. There's a place so that you could take it out and tape it here, but it's going to tell you what it is and what fabrics you use it on. And then it's going to tell you what it's made out of, how many stitches it holds in a 4x4 hoop, and then it's going to tell you exactly how to use it, how to remove it, how to wash your fabric, and other related items. So for instance, if you told me, Hope, how would I embroider on velvet? You're gonna look down on here on velvet, and it's gonna tell you, well, first of all, it's not suitable for dense designs, and you're gonna hoop sticky tearaway, and then you can, if you need more, you're gonna float our dissolvable tearaway. And so you've got a really good reference material that's going to demystify stabilizers. And one of the stabilizers I have hooped over here, let me stay right here and let me come back to one of our sticky tearaways. And so I showed you that Chenille Cutter, but I also showed you how to use our weeding tool, another great use for the vinyl weeding tool is when you've hooped something that has 2 layers like this. All right, I want to expose that sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this vinyl weeding tool to score and just make an X. So now once it's hooped, I can remove the shiny paper, and that exposes the sticky, and this is actually ready to embroider animals or whatever you like. Last little tip, this is our, I love this little sample. This is our Mermaids and Unicorn CD, and I want to show you Rip-Away Applique. So in this, you get this free project. It's a reading pillow for a child or an adult, has place for coloring pencils. But what I want to show you how to do is, do you see all of this beautiful vinyl? These are leftover pieces of vinyl. So some of that is from the cosplay line. And what you would do, our foil from Embellish is a 1-step process, and it's super thick, so you don't have to use the 2-step that maybe you used in the past. But you want to save all these scraps. So recycle and reuse. And when you save the foil, after you've removed the carrier sheet, it's nice and thick. And so ours is so much thicker than everybody else's. And you want to save that. And you want to do something that we call Tearaway Applique. So save these scraps for all of your applique designs. And when I say remove the release paper, when you have our foil, it has a clear carrier sheet that you can press with the iron. And so let's take this weeding tool so I can separate the two. All right, and so once I weed this away, usually you throw this away, but you could substitute a non-stick Teflon sheet. So you're gonna save this. And when you do an applique, instead of using fabric, you can use your leftover bits. So let me show you. I kind of stitched out some little samples for you. So as I'm doing the applique, all right, I don't even pre-cut this out. I just am gonna make sure that the fusible side, which is not sticky, touches where the applique fabric is. And then you can trim it with scissors, or you can tear it away after the satin stitch is completely done. And then it does need to be heat set. So I would take a non-stick sheet. If you threw away this sheet, if you had this, you could cover it and then press it for 10 seconds on a cotton setting, and that's going to heat set it. Or maybe you have a Teflon sheet. So you guys save all your leftover sheets. Are there any questions that you have there? I'm sure that there's some that I haven't seen that I could answer for you later. Let me just show you. Minky is tired. She says it's right, we're ready to go. But let me show you one more time any of the products that you've seen, all right? You're gonna look for this email that came, and right above my hand is the portal for Be So In, and there's a little code that's there. You're gonna type in that login code, and that's going to then take you to the hidden web page. It's not Be So In's web page. It's actually a new web page where they can give you those special deals that you usually get at our event, but actually they're even better. So I'm gonna close with one more new CD, and then I think I'm gonna go quilt a little bit. I have our boho bouquet and our Crazy Plant Lady. So the Crazy Plant Lady teaches you how to embroider on burlap and how to use our underlay, and you get this cute little project to hang a potted plant. There you go. And let's come over here. The last CD, we'll close with this, is over here. My machine is covering it. And we have the Boho Bouquet CD. And this is actually a quilt pattern. And you're going to sew these flying geese. You have a flying geese pattern, or if you have a die with a machine that has flying geese, it'll work as well. And then actually what's really cute about this quilt, when we started out, I mentioned, here's some of the designs. All right, I actually quilted right over there. So if you can do a close-up, I did this on my quilting frame and I used that flawless 60 weight thread and I quilted over it. Birdie, I'm so glad that you love that stabilizer workbook and you love the French braid. I can't see who said that. Where did you get your shelves? They're from IKEA, and hope you cheat. Your hair looks great. Oh, stop it. All right, Anita, scroll back way down. Let's see if there's any more questions. But look at this, I quilted right over it. And can you even tell, even that black, that white, flawless 60 weight embellished thread, I did it on my long arm, but you could do it with a sit down and you don't even notice that. I just figured, as you're looking at that, I figured this with quilting, all right? To have fun with quilting, why can't we pretend that this was, instead of beautiful machine embroidery, why can't we pretend it was printed fabric like this? Why is this any different than that? I'm telling you, it shouldn't be any different. You should be able to do what you want to do. And I don't know about you, but I want to have more fun in my quilting room. So I'm not worried about those quilting rules. I'm going to call myself a quilter, and I'm going to embroider and embellish, and I'm going to quilt over it to make some really fun stuff like that. So again, everything that we've talked about and more, check that email from Be Sew in the pink box. You're going to find that information. And our YouTube channel, go to rnk-embellish.com, and I did a webinar and those bracelets. And if you missed that before you check out on that shopping cart, I'd love for you to watch that video so that you can make bracelets. It's a perfect time to make bracelets with Deco Magic and our foil. So I'm going to go back and answer your questions. Do you see anything that I need to answer right now, Mark? I want to thank Be Sew In for all of their help, for having me come and just inspire you. And I'm going to go back into my quilting room after I get some takeout dinner. And I hope to see you soon. You guys stay safe. Thank you for donating masks and for all you're doing. But don't forget about you. Take a break, make something pretty and sparkly, and have fun. And thank you, Be Sew In, for being a destination for fun and creativity, and for allowing us to come into people's home when they're at home, just to inspire them to have more fun. So thank you guys very much.